All right. We are just joining into the character creation part, and you guys have already picked out your specialties. And I'm going very, very just piecemeal into it. You've picked out your specialties. So I'm going to jump to you guys picking out your power, which you guys are still choosing, right?
I'm done.
All right. So I have Jennifer done. Meredith is done.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Oh, everybody's done. All right. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty part. And we're going to talk a lot about how the actual game is. This is a game where, like I said, you're struggling with your inner self. So if you notice, there is what we call the strategies. So on your character sheet, those words in purple are your strategies. Okay, it's the overall sins, or an opposite of the sins, your virtues, so to speak, that you battle with. So the difference between being cunning and being patient, or being sly and being open, being devious or being insightful. Okay, you have no dots on your character sheet right now. You are going to be adding dots, and that's going to be the number of dice when you combine your tactic and your strategy that you're going to roll to settle encounters and such. So what we're going to do is you have, let's see, you've already added 16 points. So you guys have 14 points now. It's going to cost you 2 points per strategy, and those are the big purple ones. The tactics are smaller sins. The difference between greed and generosity, it can be under the purple, but it's your difference between your not smaller sins, but broken down and a little bit more finite. Like, is your character greedy, or is your character generous? Is your character super spy, and that's how he gets his information? Or does your character get their information just from knowledge? Is your character strong, cruel, or courageous? I want you to take these words literally how these words are. This game is not a game where you're going to get right deep into the finite mechanics of, oh, well, this means this and this means that. It's a lot of narrative. It's a lot about how you feel the character is going to go, or how you feel what that word means to you. Okay? So you guys have 14 points. You are going to assign those 14 points in these dots. That's what we're going to do off the bat. So you're going to take those points, and pretty much the character you're building now, remember, is a good character. They're a positive character. So you have 14 points. To put a dot in one of the greens, it costs 1 point. To put it in one of the strategies, it costs 2 points. So 2 points for a strategy, to put a dot in a strategy, 1 dot to put a point into a tactic. You want to try to put points, you want to look at that demon power you And also, finally, you're going to remember. Now, you can, and I'm saying you want to remember your character is good and angelic, but you can only put 7 points between the two opposites. So between green and generosity, you can only put a total of 7, and you can never put more than 4 into any category. All right, does that make sense to everybody?
So green things are 1 point, purple things are 2 points.
That's exactly right. And you can only have 7 between the two, and only 4 in one category.
So you said 7 for the more positively aligned things and 7 for the more negatively aligned. That's correct?
No. The two together. So like generosity and greed, between those two, you can only have 7.
Oh,
Oh,
so we have 14 points total to spread throughout those, but they don't have to be like 7 in one, 7 in the others.
No. And make sure I can say that again, sir. So as far as the dots, not necessarily the points, but the dots, you can only have 7 dots between two interposing traits, and that's for your strategies and your tactics. But you can only have 4 dots in any of those strategies. So essentially, you would actually the max you could have is 4 on one side, and say I could have 4 greed and I could have 3 generosity, and that would be the max greed I could get if I wanted to be greedy.
Okay, I think I get it.
Is this one of those games where it's better to really spread it out over the sheet or really try to focus in on like 1 or 2 things?
It's really positive. Well, it does really, you do want to focus really good on at least 2 things. And remember, you want to make the most angelic character with this as you can. It's cool to have some of the sins. You're going to get sins later. Don't worry. You want to try to be as angelic as you can.
Would you be willing to take a look at my character sheet to see if I am at least in the right direction with how these points are going?
Oh yeah, I am popping in them right now. I got 1, 2. Yeah, you look good so far. Did you spend all your points?
I believe that's 14, yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks really good so far.
Cool, thanks.
Will you check my?
You look real. Your devious inlight is really conflicted. Who else am I checking? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna check everybody just to make sure. You look good, Laura. And for a lot of big ones. So you look good too, Meredith. You went for a lot of high strategies. And stuff. That is really, really, really good as well. All right, I think that's all good. Okay, so now we're gonna do something a lot. Well, I'm sorry. Last thing, everybody choose one aspect, one demonic aspect for your character. So you have to do that. But choose one demonic aspect for your character. So as you guys are making characters, I'm going to go over just some of the things. As a mortal, what you are trying to do is you want to try to use your normal skills as much as possible. The minute you call upon any demonic power, like I said, the demon is going to take over, which is good. Sometimes you guys may work together. Sometimes you may not work together well. But it is okay to talk to your demon and ask your demon for things. The very last thing you're going to choose, and you can make some changing if you want to, the last thing you're going to do is you're going to choose a primary strategy. This is the primary character sheets. This is going to be one of those purples, and you see where it says the thing primary?
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty much your senior internal struggle. You should definitely have dots in these that the primary that you choose. And it's nice that your primary that you choose deals with the power that you pick. So once you choose your primary strategy and you have your aspect, let me know. Then I'll let you go know what the next phase is, okay?
Got it.
Got it.
All right. So I am going to team everybody close out of their character sheet. And remember your teamed up person. Jennifer, I'm teaming you up with Meredith. And Meredith with Jennifer. Ben, you're teamed up with Laura. And Laura with Ben. You guys are going to make each other's demon characters now. Now notice, you're going to jump into their character sheet. And you're going to do the exact same thing. But you're doing it with a completely different purpose. You are some type of demon from a very bad place. Your whole job is corrupting this person. So the things as a demon, when I make my demon character with a player, I want to choose a power that I know they really want, and I want to put points in it that I know they really need. So they will have to try to balance it with me. I want them to, you as a demon, you want to entice your player. Now, you'll see a bunch, like everybody sees those skills, and that's to make this game really easy to roll with. Each of those skills are pretty much a combination of strategy and a tactic. Usually the strategy or tactic above or below, the strategy above or below the tactic. We'll get into all the schematics of it later. Right now, do the exact same thing. You have, instead of 14 points, you have, let me make sure I'm doing that right. I think you should have all 20. Sure. Yep, you got 20 points now, 20 whole points. So you can kind of see how the corruption is probably a little greater than your virtues. So you have 20 points to build their character, and you want to name their demon as well.
So we're just doing this in each other's character sheets now.
You're doing this on each other's character sheets. By the end of this, and actually you can keep going and just let me know when you're completely done. You're going to spend all 20 of those points, same way as before, but all 20 of those points, you're going to select a demon power, and you're going to select a demon aspect for them.
Okay, so spending points and then a demon power and then a demon aspect, and then we're done.
That's correct.
Cool.
Can we crosstalk to kind of see what kind of characters the person we're making a demon for wants?
Nope.
No, okay.
The mythos of this game is that something you did at some point brought you to the point where you needed extra help and you needed this demon in you. You don't get to choose who answers that. I just popped up. I think everybody, yeah, I just popped up a cheat sheet for everybody. These are
Mhm.
very common actions in any role-playing game if you're curious about what strategies and what tactics go into them. Since demons are more likely to be doing some or encouraging some of these devious things, I decided to pop them up.
I think I'm done. I don't know if you want to check them all again too when everyone's done, but I'm not sure if I did it right.
All right, Meredith, let's go ahead and see what you got. Everybody else. This is what it is. Okay. Takes all the buttons. Yep. And Meredith, if you can do one last thing for me. At the top right in the Roll20 bar where there's a gear, I want you to click on that gear.
Okay.
And if you can you figure out how I want to say this? I want you to type in this order, your player name, your villain name, and the demon you are playing. Not the demon you are, but the demon you are playing.
Okay, so my
And then hit
player
save.
name. Okay.
And last but never not least, could you put your pronouns at the end of that?
Mhm.
While everybody's finishing up, I'm going to deal everybody 3 cards I deal in all of my games. They're a stop, a slow, and a go card. These cards, because I don't have your sheets of comfortabilities, I use this in my game. So if something makes you feel uncomfortable, and you want to move on to another scene, again, this is like a movie. I fade to black and we go somewhere else. That's the stop card. The slow down card means we're going too fast. Go ahead and slow down. And the go card means either go ahead and let's resume, or maybe speed a little bit faster or speed up through this scene. I'm going to go ahead and
I think I did that right. But there we go.
shut down first. It looks good. Looks like we're almost ready. And let me see about to look right now just to see. You did that perfectly. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Holy crap. Sin Eater, I take it.
Mhm.
That is an awesome name.
Thanks.
There's a creature in 5th edition that Cobalt Press creates their Toma Beast, and they have a Sin Eater in there. It's such a cool character. Because the creature has the ability to take the most obnoxious sin from someone and then use it as a weapon, and there are all these stats for each sin. It's really cool.
It's awesome.
Sorry, I'm still on the points piece.
I think I'm done.
Okay, that was Laura who said that. Wait,
Nope, that was Jennifer.
Oh, that was Jennifer. I just saw the voice. Sorry.
What did I do with it?
It's your sheet. Survey says, oh, that looks perfect. That's a really, really good strong sheet right there. And wait, hold on.
Oh, I forgot to give you another power. That's what I forgot.
Another power, and I don't see another aspect.
Yep, got it.
So should we have both character sheets open then?
No, you just want to have your, I don't want you to necessarily get overwhelmed. Just have your main player sheet open right now. When and if, because the way the demon powers work is the demons have rules. They can't talk to you unless you talk to it. Unless say this verbatim. Unless you either have to give them permission to speak or they already are active. Now, what makes a demon active? When you grant them permission to become active. I want to make sure there was no way around that.
I'm not sure.
Wait. No, yeah, you're right. There's one more thing. There's two ways. I'm sorry. That doesn't make sense for the game. Demons can activate an aspect without the mortal's request. So they can do that. A mortal can activate the power of a demon, but when they activate the power of a demon, then they bring on the demon. For your primary strategy, the stronger that strategy is towards the sin, the more powerful that demon becomes, and vice versa. The more you move towards that virtue for the primary, the more control you have over the demon. Make sense for everybody?
Can you check the math on my character sheet? I'm not sure if I put too many points in or the right amount. I was working on Laura's.
This is your particular sheet, right? Dang it, almost it's kind of a little bit hard to tell. Wait, who did the demon for Ben's? Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Hey,
I did.
Oh, wait. Okay, so you can't have 4 and 1. Your greed can't have. So you can't have 5. You can't have a total of 5 in any category.
Okay.
So
Oh, cannot.
cannot. The
Okay.
max.
For 7.
The max is 7 between the two,
Oh,
but for each one line, it's 4. Only 4. Make sure I'm gonna jump in. Make sure that we get that on each of them. Because the sheets are gonna need. Because what happens is one of the mechanics of the game is as you move through it, points are gonna be shifting from one thing to another. And whenever any of your strategies gets to 5, you're either going to go to heaven as an angel if it's a strategy, if it's your primary strategy, or if it's your demon's primary strategy. If it's a primary strategy and your demon gets all 5, then you are immediately dragged to hell.
Okay, I think his sheet should look better now.
Perfect. All right, let's see. Oh crap. Oh, all right. Everybody go ahead and give yourselves 3 points in open. If you don't have at least 3 points in open.
Where is open?
Yeah, at least 3 points in open.
Where is open?
Open is going to be underneath. It's it's a purple underneath slide, and
Oh, got it. How many points?
at least you should have at least 3. If you already have at least 3, or you're like you have one and you need to put another 2 in, you can take those other two dots that I gave you and put them in another one of your strategies. That's important because I forgot to give you hit points. Open in an RPG world pretty much is your hit points. When you have no more open, you are dead.
So we need help to be open.
You're closed for business in the land of the living. Got it.
That is the
Okay, I think I'm done with, I've got on Laura's sheet, I've got the demon power, the demon aspect, and then I think I'm done distributing the points.
All right. I think everybody pretty much is, and every sheet looks pretty good. Is everybody done?
On Laura's sheet, am I putting my name in there, or is that?
So where it says demon, so on her sheet, the demon name, choose her demon's name. And then I'm going to ask everybody to do what I asked Meredith to do, which is click that gear button in the upper right corner. And you're going to type your player name, you're going to type your character's name, your character's villain name, and then the demon that you're playing. Now, along with your player's pronoun. And then once I see all those, and then you're gonna hit the save button. Once I see all those names saved, we are going to go ahead and begin this adventure.
I'm so sorry. I'm sleep deprived. Where am I going for the name change? I'm brain
Not
farting on that.
Look in the upper, okay, you know where that journal, where the journal is?
Uh-huh.
Go all the way to where that gear is.
Okay.
Click on that gear. You're gonna see
Got it.
display name.
Display name. Got it. Cool. Thanks.
Oh, never. By the way, if anybody's icons are too big, you can scroll all the way down to the bottom of that gear and put no name, no icon. I always put names only, so that's just an FYI. Okay.
I accidentally clicked out of the action cheat sheet that you put up. Could you, I don't know how to make that happen again.
Not a problem. I'm actually going to show you where it is. Look, go ahead and click back on the journals, and it's going to be for everybody. You go ahead and click on your journal. Your character sheets are there. I have a whole folder called handouts. You should be able to see all the handouts that I've opened up so far. Like for instance, I just put up the protest outside. There's an action sheet. If you go ahead and click on that, that'll show up. And I'll go ahead and reopen it for everybody.
Okay. Because I'm doing that and it's not doing anything. I was able to look at the mansions, but not the actions.
Oh, that's because it's up somewhere. You probably have it up somewhere, and it happens to me all the time. Roll20 does this very bad thing where it looks invisible, so you can't really tell where it is. Like, yay, thanks. Sometimes, worst case scenario, I will just reset and refresh the browser's tab and come in and out. It sucks, but that's the only, like, and sometimes it's just not on there. Like, I know that, but it's so small, like, I don't know where they put it on there.
All right, cool. I'll try that.
Okay, I think I'm done.
One, two, three.
So the villain name, is that, I'm confused on what name that is.
That's your supervillain name. So the villain name is what the public or the crowd or the people around would know by.
Gotcha.
And some of you guys may not be public villains too. So it's okay if you don't have a villain name yet, especially like a first game of this. I'm not like overtly like, oh, you need a villain name. So if you haven't picked out a villain name, that's okay. I'm going to call you by your player name more than likely most of the time. And I don't necessarily think your villain name is going to come into huge play in this game. But if you are known, I will play around with that. For the most part, you're going to start this game off in your regular, not just in your regular civilian identities right now. You guys have scored the invitation of the century, whether you've done it through deception or you've done it through an actual invitation. You are invited to the unveiling of the Aurora Crown. I do want to get you're invited to the unveiling of the Aurora Crown. The Aurora Crown is a magnificent piece of craftsmanship, a gold and ivory crown, believed to have been the crown of one of the first pharaohs of Egypt. Many people believe that it should belong inside of a museum. But unfortunately, Mr. Brannigan doesn't necessarily believe so. He is a very ruthless hedge fund operator, taking small businesses, selling them and flipping them. And that's just what he does for a living. In his spare time, he enjoys taking the rarest of anything and encapsulating it inside of his manor. And on this particular day, or this particular more or less time, he has acquired the Aurorian crown. And now he's going to unveil it to all of his rich friends and anybody else who's lucky enough to get an invitation here. When you guys arrive, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start this scene out with you guys arriving in whatever vehicle you arrive from, with the vehicle pulling through the gate. And say he sent cars for each of you, pulling through the gate and allowing each of you to walk out. Now, notice I haven't talked anything about mechanics or anything yet, because when we get to a mechanical roll, we'll talk about it. Also, for initiative, because this is this is only like an hour or 2 hour game, I'm going to go do a round robin initiative. I'm pretty much going to start with what I see on my screen, and the enemies and villains will always go last. Let's give you guys the advantage. In any case, you guys arrive in very nice, posh, souped up luxury Teslas into the gate. The crowd separating by the dozen or so, at least they appear to be security guards, though the sun glimmers on their metallic frame, giving you the idea that they may not be all that human, and thus producing more fear inside of the protesters. One by one, each of your cars pulls up, and you're led out into this beautiful garden of various fruit trees and flowers and fauna, and more robotic men and women serving with platters on their hands, serving various pieces of wine, serving glasses of wine and dinner plates and hors d'oeuvres to about 100 or so guests filtering and floating around in this garden. The first car pulls up, and we see Kira walk out of the car. What does Kira look like in her civilian clothes?
Kira's pretty unassuming. She's like 5'4". She's got a little bit of sun-kissed to her, but she's a white woman with mousy brown hair that goes down to like midway down her back. She doesn't hold herself really tall. She kind of like collapses herself in. And so she kind of comes out and looks around and sees what's going on and who's around, and tries to kind of get a survey of what's going on, I think.
Camera swings all the way around the car and pans in on you and then freezes. What kind of outfit does she have on, and what does that outfit say about herself?
Well, I think she tries to draw as little attention to herself as possible. You said this was a gala, is that right? So there's gonna be like fancy clothing, or is it more like casual?
It's gonna be real fancy clothing.
real fancy. Okay. She's going to go with the most basic of the fancy, which is like a strappy black dress and probably flats, like black flats. Very little jewelry. And her hair that's normally down is maybe up in a bun or something like that. So she's trying to just kind of blend in as much as possible and not draw much attention to herself, if at all.
She steps out the car. The car pulls away. You walk into the crowd. Camera moves back on, and then we see Andon. Andon?
And
A car. Andon. A car pulls up, and Andon walks out of the car. What does Andon look like? What does it say about who he is?
Andon is, if you could look up the dictionary description of the word unremarkable, that would be Andon. He is exactly average, beige, like bland, like his hair is just the generic standard $20 men's haircut you get from any walk-in barber shop, like Great Clips, or, you know, he's got like a Men's Warehouse suit that can pass for posh, but it's not exactly setting any style trends here. Basically, my character is designed so your eyes just kind of gloss right over him.
All right. Again, camera pulls around the camera car. You step out looking so unremarkable as you
They can't figure out where to go.
you look completely confused. You walk out, and then the camera resumes as you wander about. And the funny thing is, as your car pulls up Lily, Andon is still wandering about in the cut and in the scene. Finally, he exits scene, and Lily, you take center stage as you step out of your car.
Okay, so Lily steps out of the car and she's got a full ball gown dress going on here. We've got like ruffles and fluffles and sparkles and layers of tulle, and it's a bright, bright purple. And she comes in and she's like, okay, I'm here, guys. And she walks forward.
All right. It almost feels like there's a little bit of a elegant classical music, a Beethoven playing in the background. And as you step out, it's almost like just the grandeur of you. The music is quieted as you walk out and exit scene. And the final car pulls around, and we see Fern as she steps out of her car. What does Fern wear look like? What does it say about Fern?
She's like tall, thin, blonde hair and an updo with like a long silky evening dress with a high neck and a deep cut back and flats.
Okay. Fern steps out of the car and seeing your other three accomplices, and by the way, yes, accomplices, you realize that it's time for you guys to go to work. As everybody walks into the party, camera pans back, and we go to about 2 days ago. You guys are sitting in a very dark, danky motel room in a part of town that no one would ever see themselves in with any type of respect. Peering over a pair of maps that you've acquired. Lily, you have managed to get a man on the inside, a friend of yours, someone who's worked with you before, expert card dealer named Romero. He's actually working this event today, and he's managed to get you some schematics of the, more or less, of the Brannigan estate. Amongst as you guys talk, you realize that this, before I exit out of the scene, this scene is gonna take two place in one. One, it's gonna deal with you guys planning on what your plan is. This heist is gonna be be in two phases. So there's gonna be two big scenes to this. There's you guys at the party going to the gala, trying to get as much information as you can about what exactly is going on where the actual crown is that you need to steal, and what kind of hazards are you going to be having. And then the second part of this is going to be the night part, the evening part, where you guys are going to have to steal the crown one way or another. Now, what makes this fun from a player point of view is there's an awesome little score that I am keeping, because the way this game works is the things that most players get, and this is just a GM, the player to GM, to new GMs or old GMs, or just advice. When you say evil or bad guy campaign, people don't understand it. You know, I've had one player like, oh God, I'm going to go murder everybody. No, that is not, that's a homicidal campaign, not an evil campaign. There is a innocent bystander chart that this game has, and I keep track of it. Collateral damage actually is called. And every time I run this encounter, I run this at conventions, I keep an encounter, and I'm going to let you know how you did at the end. Your goal is to try not to have as much collateral damage as you can, because the more collateral damage you have, the more police are going to be looking for you, and the more lights and eyes you're going to put on yourself, and you're probably not going to be villaining very long. So I'm going to pan the camera out as you guys are hovering over this map and realizing the first part is you got your invitations for the gala. Now, what's going to be your plan once you get there? And let me know when you guys want to end this scene.
Okay, guys, so here's the maps that Romero gave me.
That's correct.
Yeah, what are we gonna, here's the entrance here. Where do y'all think that the crown is being held?
Taking a look.
Do we have an image of the maps?
Under handouts.
Yeah. My guess is, knowing the ego on this guy, he's going to put it somewhere loud and proud where he thinks everyone can see it, but he's very cocky about the fact that there's no way it can be stolen. So my guess is, as I click out of Roll20, my guess is it's going to be in a place with a lot of the magic statues and or drones and stuff, but like prominently in the center of a room somewhere, especially for this gala. And I don't know if that's just where he puts it for the gala or if it just lives there, but my guess is, with the ego on this guy, it's probably where it lives.
Looking at this, I don't know if this is where he would store it during the gala proper, but I noticed that he has an orrery. I kind of think that just with the way the blueprints are and the fact that it's kind of in the back and up, it kind of feels like a place of prominence. And if I was an egotistical maniac, and I might be, that's probably where I'd put it.
Yeah, there's some really good balconies around there too. So my guess is it's open, but even as you walk in, you can probably see it up there, like on a pedestal or something.
Yeah, because he probably wants to be up there with it, but also still look down and condescend, you know, like you do.
Well, and there's a curator's room right next to the orrery.
Ooh, even better. And looking at the map on the first floor, there's, in a back hallway, the gear room for the orrery, which happens to be next to a couple libraries. So if we're right about this orrery thing, we could maybe play with the machinery and get at it indirectly.
You think we'll get lucky enough that the library on the right of the gear room for the orrery has a secret staircase to that mystery room upstairs right above it?
Oh, that sounds something pretentious. Like, that's totally sounds pretentious, like someone like him would do.
Yeah, if I were rich, I'd have a secret room, at least a couple.
He's got
What's
3
the point
libraries,
otherwise?
so
Right?
at least one of them's got to be for Scooby-Doo shenanigans.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna disconnect again. Let me know when to see it.
So how do we want to, so we have an idea of where it might be. Any other options just in case we're wrong?
Well, as we're talking to other guests at the gala, we can just kind of make small talk and find out what their favorite places are and see if the topic comes up.
That's a good idea.
Out of curiosity, your friend on the inside, is there a reason they did some things in black and some things in red on the map?
Not that, I don't know if I have I don't know. It's strange, isn't it?
The way he passed you, the way you got a hold of it and you got mapped like from one thing to another, it could have like some additional meaning to it. Go ahead, and what you're going to do is I'm going to have you're staring at this. You're going to do what we call a roll. Not a roll, what we call a patient's knowledge roll. Sorry. We call it a patient's knowledge roll. So what you're going to do is, and I made this as easy as possible, with this character sheet, you're going to be rolling all of the patients, like you're going to be rolling 1d10 per dot of patience and 1d10 per dot of knowledge.
Okay. So, and how do I, okay, so
So what you are going to do is, the easy way to do it is, that's going to be an education roll. So you are going to push the little die next to the word education, and we're going to all look at the screen.
yeah, that didn't work. Okay. Okay, so I roll it separately outside, out here, like.
No. You're going to push literally, you're going to open up the character sheet, just push that button next to the word education.
Did that.
Oh, you did? Oh.
It
says 2. Wow, you actually.
No, so I inputted that. Now it's saying to input value average die. So 10.
So average die. So in the game, an average advantage die. An advantage die is, as a GM, if there's something here or something that like should give you an advantage, I give you an extra die. That's all that is.
Okay.
But because you know Romero, go ahead and give yourself, I think you can give yourself 2 advantage die.
Well, okay then.
All right, then you're going to hit OK.
There we go.
All right. So now what we see on the screen is it shows all the rolls of each one of those dice. The way that Better Angels works is it works in sets. A set is a pair or more of the same number. Okay. So we look at Lily's die, and Lily has a pair of 7s. She has 1 set. 9 times out of 10 in Better Angels, you just need at least 1 set to be successful. That makes sense for everybody?
Mm-hmm.
But the higher the set and the more things in the set, the more spectacular things can happen. Or if you have more than 1 set, it usually allows you to do more than 1 thing. So you're looking at the notes that Romero made. And the notes in the red, make sure. The things that he circles in red are things that he wants you to check out. The other stuff is there, you don't know, but the red stuff, that has something to do with tonight.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like these are important rooms that Romero thinks we should check out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, let me actually set that. Either things you should check out or things you should figure out what to deal with, as they're also dangers.
Oh, okay, so they may also be dangerous rooms. So we'll need to proceed with caution.
Given that, if it is in the orrery, there's that secret room that's right next to it that could be danger.
Or the curator's room. That one's also in red. While we're at the this gala thing, it says drones all over the map. Can we scope out what those look at, like the size of them? Can I, like, with my robotics knowledge, kind of figure out what their capacity is or if they have any weaknesses?
Awesome. I love how you're doing this. This is a heist. You guys are in this planning room, but you can always flip back. And I was going to say that, back to where the map is. So, I just realized I don't have the player name. So Meredith is not Lily. Lily is Jennifer. Meredith is Kira.
Yeah.
All right. Got it memorized now. All right, Kira. And I'm gonna always try to call you by your player name. So
Okay.
Kira, you decide while you're here, you're going to start looking around and noting these various different robots. You realize the technology of these things is phenomenal. Some of these things look fairly human, but you hear, you can't hear the audible word just yet. Actually, wait, I take that back. You actually do hear one audible word.
Mhm.
Let's see if you hear an audible word. I'm going to say, go ahead and give me and roll. Slide. Go ahead and roll a cunning espionage roll.
Okay. So I do.
Oh, you're going to look at your character sheet and again, all of the roles are pre-rolled. So cunning and espionage is, I'm cunning, God, I feel stupid for saying that. Sorry. I feel bad. Roll a spot, a spot and ambush roll, which is what I'm using for your X-Men. So spot and ambush. Sorry about that.
All right. And the average die is
if I'm giving you an advantage and you are good at it, I like that idea. So you get 2 advantage die for that because that's a specialty of yours.
okay.
Oh, wow.
I got 2 sets.
So you get 2 successes off of this. So camera follows you as you are walking around the manor. And again, remember when I said about the map? The map is solely just there if I need to know where you are. I know you're moving around the map, so I'm not going to be moving characters in this game. You're walking around the map and like identifying the robots you see. You do realize, like, while you're doing this, some of these doors are locked. Like, most of these doors are locked. One of the libraries is open, but most of the doors are locked. And you see, like, peeping out from a trash can, this little bug-eyed looking robot with all of these cameras around the eyes. Like, it's like an eyeball with more eyeballs all around it. And it looks like a little crab that's all scurrying about. And then scurrying up the wall, and then it scurries back into the little hole cubby that it came out of. You also notice that there are two of the servants. They're pretty big robots for servants, and you notice the 2 really big ones. They seem to have machine gun turrets hidden underneath the sleeve of the very nice butler lapels they're wearing. Butler clothing, more or less, that they're wearing. You also notice some smaller guards who seem about a couple of them you see so far, and they have little swords tucked away in their waistbands. But that is not the thing that most interests you. One of the creatures, it drops a big plate of glasses. The glasses spray down with glass flying everywhere, and a man comes out of a man walks out of one of the rooms, and no one's seen Mr. Brannigan just yet. And there's a rope that's roped off the oratory room upstairs, and pretty much people have been told people, no, there's guards up there. That's where you see a lot of these robots at. And there are guards up there. He's saying, okay, just hold off for a second before that happens. So no one's seen him yet. But the minute he hears that glass, in one of the finest black suits with a red scarf on, a red scarf in the middle of a 90-day hot summer, bolts out of a room. What in the world is this? God, who programmed this one? I'm just absolutely embarrassed. This woman in this beautiful yellow dress, she has like red wine all over her. So seems incredibly irate. And he starts just berating people.
Mhm.
And you hear him say, verbatim. And the robot immediately shuts down.
Okay. What was that?
Take one of these away. You hear him say the word verbatim.
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 Got it.
And then the creature shuts down.
Hmm.
And why the hell is that little one scaring on the wall? Hooligan! And the crab shuts down.
Oh.
Because of your second success, you realize that each type of robot has a different password.
Okay. Does it have to be in his voice? Do I know? Can I try to like whisper hooligan to one of them and see what happens? Or verbatim?
One of the things, and this is kind of interjecting again, the system is kind of a really like a broad setting. Like I do a lot off of your one roll. I'm gonna go into your roll and I'm gonna look and see. I mean, you rolled a pair of 6s and 5s. Those are pretty high. So you're able to discern that it's not voice specific.
Okay, cool.
He had different tones in each one.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
We're gonna pull out and go back to the planning room after you find that piece of information. And we go back to the planning room.
So that makes sense why all the servants' rooms on the ground floor are red, because they could be dangerous if they're all robotic. And also why they're so close to the charging station.
The charging station seems like it could be out of character. My character, I conceptualize as having some sort of like IT background. It's one of my areas of specialty. If I wanted to, basically, I'm thinking that my character would suspect that there would be some sort of master control somewhere in the house, just in case of like robot uprising. And it would probably be, I'm guessing would be located in the charging area. Is that something that I could like make a roll to see if my character would know that, or?
Your character knows that, but we're gonna play a scene out with your character trying to figure out how it's all connected. All right. So the camera. I'm sorry.
Could I say that as my theory?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, I suspect that there's a master control switch somewhere, and I would guess it would be on the charging station.
And I should always say this. Does anybody else want to join this scene? All right. Scene camera pans into and Adon as you are inside and you're examining the outlets very suspiciously. You're trying to examine the outlets of exactly kind of where everything is going. And I'm going to give you a choice of how you do this. Do you want to use reconstruct a crime, which I'm going to say is like patience espionage, or do you want to do education, which would be patience knowledge?
I'm going to go with education.
All right, go ahead and click on education and go ahead and give yourself 2 advantage because you are an IT person and you certainly know how to turn it on and turn it off.
And I have no pairs.
Unfortunately. So you go off your theory. You're tracing some of the outlets and where a lot of the power is going. You do determine that a lot of power is going into the basement. But you aren't able to figure out exactly why that is or what else. But the sheer amount, like you have your little meter, your meter is going crazy. This place is taking more power right now than 4 city blocks.
Okay.
Camera pans back in as Adon stops. He stops talking about your theory, and you kind of explain your whole theory. And that's something you're going to investigate. Anything else?
I have a world question, not necessarily a this mission question.
Yeah, sure.
When we say drones, like they sound like they're not a novel thing, like other people have had them, probably museums, things like that. Are they considered like androids? Like, why would they need servants' quarters, or would they, or are there servants like at the like around? I guess is my question. Would they? Is it required in this futuristic setting that robots have creature comforts because they're sentient or something like that? I guess.
You do know that there are a handful, like Romero, of
Uh-huh.
actual people who work for Brannigan. You just don't see them at the event. There is your friend Romero is in the game room doing the games, and there's their curator who's also human, and then there are a couple other people, a maintenance person, and there's a maintenance person and a cook.
Okay. And the robots themselves, they don't have like personalities or something, so they wouldn't go towards our kill count, right?
Sure.
Damn it. All right.
All right, here's 7 Isaac Asimov books.
I'm planning a heist. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, cool. I'm kind of curious about these magic statues in the courtyard on the ground level.
Oh, yeah.
Demons know a lot about magic. Humans, not so much.
Then I'd love to ask my demon.
All right. And who's playing your demon? Oh, I'm sorry. Ben's playing your demon.
No,
I'm sorry.
Janet.
No, wait. I'm sorry. I did that wrong.
Zephyrus.
Zephyrus is your demon. Zephyrus, you are called upon.
Oh gosh. Yay. Okay, so what, as the demon, what am I able to do?
As the demon, now she's just asking you a question.
Okay.
You are able to you are able to see what she sees, and you're able to hear what she hears. So you know you're up abreast of everything, but you also have your own motives and things you want to do. This is literally like a second character that you're playing. You can have a good relationship or a bad relationship. It's up to you. You guys can improv this and role play this out.
Okay. What
I'm good
now?
making friends. I'm good making friends with my demon. I'm not gonna lie.
You're gonna be making friends with me?
Now, here's the thing with the demon. Demons always want their player to try to boost up those sin numbers and so they're always going to be pushing for you to do some sinning and stuff. And for the people who are other demons, the truth is you don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. You may want the person to do some sinning first. So go ahead and play that however you guys wish.
What now?
Hey, sorry to bother you. If you're not too busy, I have a question about this thing we're doing.
I'm hungry.
Okay. What does that mean?
I need some food. Why are you starving me? What is happening?
I mean, there's some really tasty looking canapes at the gala. I could stuff my face. I don't understand. Out of character, are you asking for sins as food? Is that what you're asking for?
Greed. I'm trying to be greedy.
Oh, greedy. Okay.
I'm not very good at it, obviously. Why? I don't know.
I mean, I could pick some pockets.
That might be helpful. What I'm looking, I'm hungry, but not for food. I'm hungry for rare metals.
Well, I bet you these drones have things like tungsten in them and cobalt, just like the old cell phones used to. They're pretty precious metals.
Okay. So what are you trying to get out of me?
I'm curious about these magic statues and also most magic things in this. But these magic statues specifically.
Well, I think, man, my vision is so fuzzy. I can't see anything. I think I need some of these rare metals that you're talking about.
Okay. Did I see where the bad robots were hauled off to?
So you were actually there when they were hauling off one of the robots, and they set it up in a closet. As the person who went to go set it up went to go and get some towels and some mop to clean up the spill before he took the little crab downstairs.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, so I was saying because that's happening technically at a different time. When you're at the gala, you do get a hold of one of them. I'm still going off that really good roll from earlier.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, Zeph, what are those aspects of her demon? Because now that she has it, how do you eat this thing? Like, how do you eat these metals?
Well, I don't necessarily eat them. I'm I'm looking towards like alchemy, like being an alchemist.
Oh, well, she has this rare thing, and when you look at the metal on it, it's like this weird obsidian steel, something that you don't see in every day. It clearly is not just bulletproof, but probably could withstand a 5-ton hurricane, a 5-category hurricane.
Okay, so not just bulletproof, like really strong metal.
Yeah.
Oh, this would be nice. Okay, this might do. So you're trying to figure out about the statues, huh? Now, how do I know what to tell her about the statues?
Oh, well, that's perfect. You're gonna roll either. I'm gonna give you the same. Same thing I told the action sheet. You are going to roll either an education or a spot and actually no, you're gonna roll spot and ambush. That's what you're gonna roll. Spot and ambush. Yeah, spot and ambush.
Okay, do I get any advantage die?
I'm gonna give you 3 for this.
Nice.
And I'm sorry, you aren't rolling it. My apology.
Oh.
Meredith, you are rolling it, and your demon is. So what you guys can do is bargain. Now that she's stolen this, you are going to put 1 point in, and I forgot to do that, but you're going to put 1 point into greed.
So Meredith puts that on her sheet, right?
This is Meredith's sheet. This is what we're working off of.
Okay, so
And you're going to take 1 point away from generosity. So that's what we call sliding. You got a generosity, and you're going to take it and put it towards greed.
Gotcha. Cool. All right, and then I do spot and ambush with 3 advantage die.
I want to do something that has to do with greed. I think that greed thing should be beneficial. So I'll change things up a little here. All right, let's see what we got with greed. You're going to use a cunning greed, and you're going to get 3 advantage die on this.
Cunning greed, is that the steel cards pick locks?
Steel cards, pick locks. Yep.
Okay, and 3. Got it.
This is definitely an on-fire game for you.
Yay.
You're as a demon, you start pushing your knowledge of hell and magic into her. You recognize those 2 statues. Somehow Brannigan has encased 2 angels and enslaved them in these stone marble statues. Their sole job is at night. They are to tell if anybody touches any of the ground at night, they sound an alarm.
Oh yeah, that's what they get. Those angels.
I mean, it seems like overkill for motion sensors, but gotta trap two celestial beings in stone just to see if there's any motion on the grounds.
Here's the deal, Zeph. You find out something else she hasn't asked you.
Uh-oh.
There's a jinn, and jinns are like demons pretty much of the Middle East.
Yeah.
There's a jinn entrapped in a room on the ground floor. Pretty much the room right next to the research room. There's a genie or a jinn trap there.
I wonder if we could free the jinn and cause havoc. Now, obviously, I know this, but nobody else knows this. And not even me. Meredith's demon knows this.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Okay. You know, Kira,
Yeah.
I think that the magic is telling me, you know, you gave me such a nice medal early. I just want to give you a heads up. The magic is telling me that the object you're looking for could be in the room by the research room. There's a big magical presence there, and I think the object you're looking for might be in there. Just might.
If we were to release the magical presence, would it create a good diversion so we could maybe get what we need or explore further, and the drones could take care of it or try to?
You're asking the GM, or you're asking your demon?
Either.
As a player, as a GM, I can only say that demons can communicate with other demons. Only demons can communicate with other demons. So if the way the hierarchies is, and I'm gonna say Zeph is pretty high up on the demon chart. If she could push her weight around and tell it what to do.
But would I?
I'm curious about a morality thing.
Go ahead.
If I release a demon that she then controls and it kills a bunch of people, does that come back on me?
Yes.
Because I released it. Okay. Cool.
Like I say, this game is all about morality.
Uh-huh. Ethics.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm getting to wrap this scene up.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna go to we got about 5 minutes before we have to switch to nighttime.
Okay.
What other things are you investigating? I don't know if I heard from Fern or what Fern was doing. Fern, how are you contributing to this debauchery?
I'm just trying to keep up.
It looks like the one thing that you guys haven't necessarily accounted for are there any keys? And where are they? Who holds the keys? So maybe Fern can be looking for who holds the keys to various different rooms and such.
Sounds like a plan to me. Need to get into places.
All right, so Fern, you're walking around the gala, perusing around. And when Brannigan comes out after that glass drops, you notice that he does not have any keys on his key ring. But you see another prestigious suited individual. He does have a key around him. Doesn't look like looks very plain, pretty much almost like the accountant that goes to work every day and comes home every day. And he has a large set of keys on him. give me well, no, not yet. Now that you know he has the keys on him, you need to know where he puts the keys at night. That's where I was going to ask you. So you follow him around a little bit, and you are going to roll me a spot ambush. Look at your character sheet. You're going to click on the spot ambush button. And this is
Any advantage dice to add there?
let's see. What do you do? And navigation. Let's say navigation goes to that. So you get 2 advantage dice on this. Wow, that's real quick. Yeah, you get 1 really, really awesome. So you sneak around. We're gonna role play this out together. You follow him up to the curator room, and he takes the set of keys and he puts them on a hook. And then you hear him mutter to himself as he looks and texts on his phone. God, I hate working for this. Oh, just a horrible man. God, what's next? A penis-shaped spaceship? As he opens the door and walks out and hangs up his coat and leaves the party early. Who's playing Fern's demon?
Me.
Because you're peering in, and I GMs do have a little fiat in this game, you hear very faintly, Fern, you don't even have to wait for tonight. You can try to take the keys now. But not from me, from Andon. So I want you as the demon to relay that information to her. However, I don't know. I need to know what you guys' relationship is like.
Any preference for her? Fern?
No, just go for it. Just do whatever.
Well, there's no time like the present. No one's looking. They're right there.
Sounds like a good plan, but how am I going to get away with it?
Out of character, is this where I would like kind of try to tantalize with some of the like demonic power stuff, or?
Yeah, you can do whatever you could. This is a bargain and negotiation scene. But while you're having this internal struggle, Lily, you notice that Fern is just has kind of stood still for a minute and is just like staring at this one place, almost looking fairly obvious.
Oh man, maybe I should cause a distraction with my big purple dress. Is that I would love to just kind of gather everybody around and be like, hey guys, y'all should listen here. I've got a great story to tell. It is amazing. There was this one time.
Go ahead and hit tell. You are going to roll a tell lies while Fern and her demon talk out this scene, and I'll tell you how this wraps up before nighttime.
Do I get any advantage dice?
That dress is awful and great description. You get 2 advantage dice for that dress.